Today I'm going to be talking about bridging the gap in different educational technologies. With educational technology, we have different types of adopters of new technologies. So they're divided up into 5 different groups. You have your innovators who are willing to experience new ideas while being ready for failure. You have your early adopters who are willing to embrace new ideas. Generally, those are your leaders and the ones who either lead workshops on different new technologies or the heads of a technology committee or anything like that. You have your early majority who tend to jump on these ideas before everyone else does. And then you have your other two, which are kind of clumped together, the late majority and the laggards. The late majority are skeptical of new ideas, and most of the time they're the ones who sit back and kind of wait and see if their peers are going to join in before they decide that that's something that they want to do. And then your last group you have are laggards. They have a traditional mindset, and they frequently are against new innovations. So they're the ones that like the old traditional way of doing things, and they may not like the idea of having something new brought into their world. So the innovators, the early adopters, and the early majority are the ones that are really implementing and taking in new technology in the classroom. I think with these 3 groups together, it takes a combined effort to make sure that you reach everyone in those other groups, including the laggards. Saheen says that interpersonal channels are more powerful to create or strong attitudes held by an individual. So you have to develop those channels and develop those ways to reach those different categories that may see things differently than you. Christ had many different kinds of followers during his ministry. And just like you as a teacher, if you're going in and teaching these new technologies, you may have different kinds of people who follow you, whether it may be something that they want to be against your technology or they can be for your technology. Your late majority and your laggards, the biggest thing I think you have to do with those 2 groups specifically when integrating new technology is that you have to make sure that you're inclusive and include them. Don't label them when you reach out as you're not someone who understands what's going on, or you're just scared to do this. You need to be inclusive and come about ways to make sure you guide them along. Show that their questions and concerns have been answered. This is the 2 groups that are going to have questions. They're going to have concerns. Why are we doing this? What benefit is it going to have for my students if I integrate this technology? And how will I reach my EC students? How is this going to challenge my AIG students? So make sure that if you are someone who is leading some sort of professional development on technology, make sure that their questions and concerns are answered. That way they can jump on board. And that kind of goes into showing Christ's love in all words and deeds. I mean, you need to show them respect and love just like they're showing you respect and love. And you have to remember that Christ was also opposed during his ministry. Not everyone believed everything that he said, and he had his objectors. Just like you will if you're integrating new technology, not everyone's going to like those ideas. And then continuing on leading like Christ, there are different classifications and adopters on innovating technology. But you have to make sure everyone is pointing in the same direction. Everybody's eyes has to be on the prize. While it may take you a little longer to reach those other 2 groups, the laggards and the late adopters, you still need to get them on board and let everyone's eyes be on the prize. Core values should be Christ-based and equally valued. I talked about that in a couple of slides earlier, and how Christ's teachings weren't always seen by everyone as this great, fantastic thing, and to know that that's going to happen. Implementation of new technology is important because it helps optimize it helps give an optimal learning experience for the students. And I think if you let some of those, especially in the laggards category, show that it's a new way of learning for those students, that they will be able to jump on board. I've also put in a verse from Romans 12:16. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. And it's just saying, work with one another, live together. We all may have different ideas, but we can all still work together in one building and Christ's love and still reach those students in a new way with technology. And then these are my references. And that is my presentation on bridging the gap for educational technology.